Dear friends, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We have come with more news and another update. And this is from Nigerian newspapers Daily Post, precisely saying Nigerian CDS seek stronger ties with South Africa Defense Forces. To do what? Musa, you will not stop, right? To do what? To kill Biafrans in South Africa or to come and kill Biafrans in our indigenous land? Why are you calling them? Have you ever called them ever since Boko Haram has been ravaging the north? Have you called them? You didn't call them when Benue people were dying by herdsmen from your father's land. All those your blood brothers, the criminals, the terrorists that were killing Benue people. You did not call South Africa. You know they are callous. That's why you are calling them. But our Prime Minister responded promptly. He defeated you here and he will defeat you even when they come here because they will die. The terrain is ours. We know the terrain. We know everything. They will all die here. Even Ofono Gaijiri will kill them. Even the blood of Biafrans on their head will kill them when they step here. All right? Now let me tell you what our Prime Minister said to South Africa. He said, I call on South Africans to stay away from the conflict. He said, my promise to the South African forces is that if you join force with Nigerian terrorist state to fight Biafra, I will order the BDF to specifically target your troops and you will never return to South Africa. It is a promise. Stay out of this. We will not only bring Nigeria to its knees, but we destroy the terrorist state beyond repair. Nigeria can never stand after this generation of Biafra fighters. Wow, this is the voice that we used to hear. That is the voice that we used to hear. That kind of voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are thanking God for our Prime Minister. He is a man that did not allow shame to befall Biafrans. Immediately they abducted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This guy stood up to today unflinching, okay? Upon all the run around that Ndi Nzama, the DOS have been running up and down, calling him criminal, saying a lot. He did not mind them all. He stands to be the face of Biafra till today. Now, where are the governors when this thing was written on Nigerian paper? What are they calling South Africa to come and do when they did not call them to come and fight Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen and all these abductors that are demanding for money from here to there? Now, Musa, you are biting more than you can chew. I can say that Musa is truly having sleepless nights, calling on nations to come and fight indigenous people. Oman Lekwalage, it will not work for you, okay? Now somebody helped our Prime Minister. He retweeted, he said, replying to Simon Ekpa, he said, dear South African President, at Cyril Ramaphosa, Julius Malema, Biafran people through our Prime Minister under Biafra government in exile are calling South Africa to stay away from conflict or ties with Nigerian terrorist country. Do not bring disorder in Africa because it will not be funny. Everybody should retweet. Yes, repost this rather. That's better said. Because it is our thing and we must have to stand to defend our land. You must do everything you can. It must take your money, it must take your time and your commitment so that we know that yes, you are a good Biafran and Ali Bogabarago Toto when the chips are down. With this now, I want you to listen to our Prime Minister. Prime Minister, over to you, please.
By conducting a self-referendum, which is, by the way, still ongoing, the second phase. By the virtue of the response and compliance so far by the Biafra people, Biafra Republic government in exile remain the only legitimate representative of the Biafra people who have stood very tall in all the adversity, making sure that the life and properties of our people are protected within the Nigeria enslavement. These criminals who parade themselves in Abuja as senator and House of Representative members care nothing about the welfare, security, life and properties of the people of Biafra. All they do is how to create state, distort map, change demography, and somebody will be somewhere planning how he is going to become a governor in a new state. The face of the liberation of Biafra, this particular phase may not require too much talk. We want to know who is going to append his signature or who we claim to be responsible for moving a motion of additional state in the southeast of Biafra in order to distract the liberation of Biafra this year. It is going to be you versus the entire Biafra people. And you know what that means. We will give you a personal no grantor in Biafra land. If any senator or any House of Representative member, if your name is part of those who we are going to see as those pushing for a additional state instead of addressing the fundamental problem and the fundamental issue facing Biafra people today, if your name is found in any document proposing additional state to further distort and divide and rule our people, believe me, you will never enter Biafra land. You will remain in Abuja until you die. The freedom of our people have seen death of many men, noble men and women. And you can't be a stumbling block. Biafrans and the wrath of Biafra will fall on you. There are different types of terrorists, those who aid them, those who encourage them, and those who carry out the act of terrorism. Nigeria government is a terrorist state, and anybody supporting a terrorist state is also a terrorist. We have not remembered those who facilitate the attack on our people. We only focus on those who are the field commanders and attackers of our people. But very soon, very, very, very soon, with this latest development, very soon, this particular self-defense will be taken to a different level. Because those who facilitate and enable us in our land think that the only problem we have identified are those carrying guns. Those who are not carrying guns, who give them guns and support them with whatever they have and their position, are even more dangerous. They are more dangerous. Without them, nobody will come to Biafra land and kill. Without Hope Uzodimma, Imo State will not be a war zone. He is not the only governor in the southeast under Nigeria, which we have actually given a vote of no confidence. But he has taken it upon himself to be one of the most dangerous enabler in Biafra land. And of course, like I said, we may begin to channel our self-defense to the grassroots. The grassroots means that those who facilitate the attack on Biafra people, those who stay in their offices and plan how to execute, kidnap, and kill Biafra people, the self-defense will be taken to them. For this state, anybody seen writing and endorsing additional state instead of looking for a permanent solution over Biafra issue will be dealt with by Biafra people. I want to make it very clear this evening that Biafra is very, very angry. Biafra people are angry. The spirit of Biafra, very, very angry. And it will be very, very ruthless. It's just a matter of time. I want to inform you this evening why the hope of people, gullible Nigerians, have lost. They are losing their hope. Biafra people remain hopeful. One of the famous quotes of Mandela, remember that hope is a powerful weapon, even when all else is lost. Hope is a powerful weapon. I call on Biafra people this evening to remain very, very hopeful on the liberation and the declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra come 2024, 2nd December. You must remain very, very hopeful. What they did was to impoverish all Biafrans, make you poor. You eat by hand to mouth on daily basis. And when you try to rise up against them, they remind you how poor you are and how you cannot eat. How you can't afford 3 square meals a day. The people reminding you about how poor you have become are the one who on purpose make you to be poor so that you can never rise up against them. One of the things that Biafra Republic Government in Exile did was to use 3 years of the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to train and prepare you for the days ahead. Today, the dividend of the actions of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile can be seen. How strong we have stood in all the troubles, in all the threats. Biafrans have remained very strong, resisting the British enslavement called Nigeria, and it baffles them. One of the caliphate politicians was quoted to say, Nigeria are too weak. They are too poor. They can never stand and resist or revolt against the government. They thought they actually have succeeded. Today, it is not so. We have proven to them that Biafra people, you have used 3 years to train, especially during the sit at home when everybody was shouting heaven and earth. Biafra remained very, very persistent and stood their ground irrespective of the hardship. No part of Nigeria can sit at home today and survive it. No part of Nigeria can sit at home and survive because they made this system in a way that if you don't go out one day to look for what you and your family will eat, hunger will strike you. Is that how a system should be? Is that the kind of system you are supporting? A system where somebody will not go for one day to business and the person will lose everything and the person will die. If you do not go out, you won't have a food for yourself and your family. Is that how a system should be? Is that the kind of system you are supporting? Because they design it that every living human being in Nigeria must live from hand to mouth, except them in Abuja, except them in government houses. And when you try to rise up to talk, they will call for your head. we stopped them ahead of time. Today, you can see the reason why we insisted on making sure that we train our people. We gathered enough firewood during the dry season. For the rainy season will come, when others will be running helter-skelter looking for firewood, we have enough in our stock. It is as a result of the momentum of the Biafra liberation today that necessitated this stupid and idiotic move of Southeast additional state. Without the momentum, would they talk of new state? How will new state solve the problem of the fact that we are under siege by the Islamic terrorist state called Nigeria, by the terrorist army? How will additional state solve the problem that Boko Haram are killing people all over Nigeria? How does a new state solve the problem that you do not have money to go to hospital? How does the new state solve the problem that you do not have good road? How does additional state in the Southeast solve the problem that you remain a second-class citizen in your own country, in your own court country? How does that particular new state make you to become a president of Nigeria? How does that make you to have good school, good road, social amenity, social services, national insurance scheme powered by the government? How does this new state solve any problem, provide jobs, make you or make the unemployment rate to drop? How does this new state solve the insecurity, the Fulani remanding and marauding around Biafra land, killing our people, trying to grab our land, and of course, ravaging the entire Biafra and other part of Nigeria? How does that solve your problem? I have been listening to people commenting on the new national anthem. The reason I have not made a comment on that is because it is none of our business. But you see, this new state is our business. We can never allow it. And let me tell you, like I said, the Biafra Defense Forces are ready to take this particular liberation to the next level. The level we are now is self-defense against those arm-carrying criminals and terrorists in our land. The next phase of the self-defense is to go after those empowering and sponsoring them. Politicians, stay away from anything in the Southeast and South-South. Every senator must stay away. You don't represent Biafra, you don't represent Southeast, you don't represent South-South. The legitimacy has been taken away from you. Not the governors, not the senators, not the House of Representative members. You have lost legitimacy over anything Biafra, over anything South-South. Let me just put it South-South, Southeast, so you don't say there is no Biafra yet. You have lost legitimacy. You have no right to discuss on behalf of the people of the South-South and Southeast. And like I said, the Biafra people will take this war to your doorstep. Try it and see. After this particular warning this evening, let us see who is going to write his name under any paper saying you are distorting the map of Biafra in the name of representing them. And you will see how God will handle you. I want to make it again, and I want you people to call this particular segment today. I said, on behalf of the Biafra people, anybody seen trying to encourage the enslavement of Biafra people have enough in our stock. It is as a result of the momentum of the Biafra liberation today that necessitated this stupid and idiotic move of Southeast additional state. Without the momentum, would they talk of new state? How will new state solve the problem of the fact that we are under siege by the Islamic terrorist state called Nigeria, by the terrorist army? How will additional state solve the problem that Boko Haram are killing people all over Nigeria? How does a new state solve the problem that you do not have money to go to hospital? How does the new state solve the problem that you do not have good road? How does additional state in the southeast solve the problem that you remain a second-class citizen in your own country, in your own court country? How does that particular new state make you to become a president of Nigeria? How does that make you to have good school, good road, social amenity, social services, national insurance scheme powered by the government? How does this new state solve any problem, provide jobs, make you or make the unemployment rate to drop? How does this new state solve the insecurity, the Fulani remanding and marauding around Biafra land, killing our people, trying to grab our land, and of course, ravaging the entire Biafra and other part of Nigeria? How does that solve your problem? I have been listening to people commenting on the new national anthem. The reason I have not made a comment on that is because it is none of our business. But you see, this new state is our business. We can never allow it. And let me tell you, like I said, the Biafra Defense Forces are ready to take this particular liberation to the next level. The level we are now is self-defense against those arm-carrying criminals and terrorists in our land. The next phase of the self-defense is to go after those empowering and sponsoring them. Politicians, stay away from anything in the southeast and south-south. Every senator must stay away. You don't represent Biafra, you don't represent southeast, you don't represent south-south. The legitimacy has been taken away from you. Not the governors, not the senators, not the House of Representative members. You have lost legitimacy over anything Biafra, over anything south-south. Let me just put it south-south-southeast so you don't say there is no Biafra yet. You have lost legitimacy. You have no right to discuss on behalf of the people of the south-south and southeast. And like I said, the Biafra people will take this war to your doorstep. Try it and see. After this particular warning this evening, let us see who is going to write his name under any paper saying you are distorting the map of Biafra in the name of representing them. And you will see how God will handle you. I want to make it again, and I want you people to call this particular segment today. I said, on behalf of the Biafra people, anybody seen trying to encourage the enslavement of Biafra people after they have given you a vote of no confidence and have delegitimized you, you come to impose a state. You declare yourself the highest enemy of Biafra. From today, we will never accept any imposition of a state, as it is not the solution to the problem of Biafra people today. We are looking for a permanent solution, not a temporary solution. Additional state does not solve anything. Rather, it will add to the pains, and it is going to open wounds that have healed. Because when you hear them say, go with 5 states, I look at them and I laugh. Do you think that in this liberation of Biafra, we will listen to your southeast and south-south? We will go to the foundation. The problem we are having today is a foundational problem. We will go to the foundation. Some of them will even tell you, oh, Igbo people should go. And Igbo people should go with their 5 states. Who is talking about Igbo people? You have Igbo people in Benue State. You have Igbo people in River State. You have Igbo people in Cross River State. You have Igbo people in Delta State. You have Igbo people in Edo State. And they will tell you, Igbo people should go with their 5 states. Thunder will fire all of you. The one that doesn't have any direction. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity. It is an act of justice, according to Mandela. Many say that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. How have your education changed your world in Nigeria? Only in Nigeria that this particular quote doesn't make any sense. Because there you have the highest professors. And all the professors do is to rig election, to rig those who are uneducated to, ascend into power. They rig those who are not educated. They rig illiterate. They rig those who were just coming from Mutu Park to become politicians into offices. Professors. But there's a common understanding that the word said education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world. This particular saying is not applicable to Nigeria, but it will be applicable to Biafra. Biafra will understand the importance of these words. We will make sure our women and children are protected. Today, many people are being butchered in Zamfara, in Jos. How many places will I mention and how many places will I omit? There are many places where people are being butchered every day. Nigeria doesn't care because they are not fighting for their own freedom. So long as those committing this terrorism against indigenous people in Nigeria are not fighting for the division of Nigeria, they are welcomed. Kill everybody, turn it into an Islamic State, and there is no problem. We are not only going to deal with Nigeria with those carrying guns. The time has come. You see this new state issue? Let it just continue, and the people that are from the southeast and south piloting this particular fraud, they will have a very big questions and issues with the Biafra people. They will know how angry we are. They will know that some of us have actually pulled our heart off for our freedom to come, to save generation unborn. The government that uses force, violence to enforce its policies must be resisted and responded with violence. When they tell you that Biafra people today are violent, you ask them, when they were killing you in Aba, when they were shooting you and putting the body of your colleagues into the river, was it act of love? That was not act of love. But today, you have risen up to say, I have known my right, and the right to self-defense have been activated by the Biafra Republic government in exile. We are well armed, well armed. Biafra Defense Forces are ready to take down any terrorist in uniform, anywhere in Biafra land. And like I said, the 300 people that have been reportedly killed in Aba, there will be consequences and the revenge is coming. It will be very overwhelming. I am telling you the fact. Biafra Defense Forces will retaliate ruthlessly. This is not the time you are going to kill everybody and expect us to keep quiet. 300 people, innocent people, have been reportedly killed by Nigerian military terrorism army. According to them, they say they are avenging what happened in Aba. And I promise them today, Biafra Liberation Army will respond with overwhelming response. And after this episode, they will know that we are all mad. Our freedom, the life of our people is very precious to us. In the past, maybe in the past, you have done that and go free. That's why the criminals are quickly to come and debunk the exposition we made against them. We saw them shooting Biafrans and dumping them in the river. Because that is what gave us the legitimacy to deal with them. Even we don't know what is going on. They know why they rush to come and debunk it. And I like the word debunking. They are debunking. Because when you are debunking something, does not mean it is not true. And listening to the disjointed statement, you will find out how they lie. Because they don't even know how to lie.
All right, thank you very much, our Prime Minister. Of course, truth is always very straight, and lies is always not in a straight way, because you will try to cover up a lot of things to come up to something that looks like truth. Truth is generally acceptable, all right? Lies, not generally acceptable. And that is why when you see somebody that is telling lies, you will try to make it to look like truth so that you will accept it. But if you don't know the truth, you will accept lies in form of truth. But if you know the truth, you will always reject lies. It doesn't matter how they garnish it or how they cover it or sweet coat it. No, lies remain lies, and it's not from God, and shouldn't be accepted. Yes, from all standard. And that is it. Thank you very much for listening to us from this channel. God bless you all.